Hey everyone, Cherie here. Today I'm going to be creating a layout using these awesome new stamps from Kerri Bradford Studio. This is the Juniper XL alphabet stamp, and have a look at the size of these letters. It's so cool. I can't wait to use these. I've also got the year-round stamps. These are awesome. Look at all the different ways you can create the date on your layout. And there's also these pieces here, and there's like the days of the week and months that can go around that circle so you can layer your stamps. It's very cool. I've also got the block of summertime and block of somewhere stamps. I'm thinking of using a few from each of these sets on this layout today. This layout is about a flight that my husband did on his way to Tasmania. So I've got a couple of photos there that were taken in the cockpit. He's a helicopter pilot, so he gets some really cool landscape shots. So I really want to get this one onto paper today. So I'm ready to get started. I'll pop you on fast forward and get right into it. Okay, so to begin with, I'm going to make a little tag that's going to have my title on it. So I've just got a journaling card with a grid on it, and I've just trimmed it down a little bit, used a border punch along the very bottom, and now I'm playing around with these super cool Juniper XL alphabet stamps. I've got TAS, which is short for Tasmania, where he travelled to, and I've also got this little tab piece that's going at the very top of the tag, and that is from the year-round stamp set. So first up, I'm going to stamp the tab at the top of this tag. So you can see there I had a few practice goes on some scrap cardstock first, and now I'm going directly onto the tag. So I only needed half of that little tab piece. And on top of that, I'm using this little round Today stamp. I love how these layer together, and it looks so good. So I'm really happy with that. I can now go ahead and add my alphabet stamps. So just reaching for a larger block, I'm going to start off with the A, which will be going down the center of the tag. Making sure I get lots of ink on this, or as much as I can. I do need to get myself a new ink pad, so it's not quite as solid an image as I'd like, but that's what I'm working with at the moment. So I'm just going to go with it. I'll just add that A to the very center there. And that is done, so I can go ahead and add the S, and I'll also add the T to the left there as well. Alright, so really happy with this little tag, absolutely loving those large alphabet stamps. All I need to do now is just punch the center out of that little tab piece at the top, and that will allow me to add some twine as well. And then I'll be able to just put this little tag aside and do some more stamping. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I've just gone through that block of somewhere stamp set, and I've grabbed a whole heap of little phrases from that set to stamp out onto this plain white cardstock. So these are phrases such as far and wide, let's see it all, en route, take it all in, things like that, the view as well. So just stamping them all out, and I'll be cutting all of these out to use on my page design. And I will also grab the year-round stamp set. There's the word currently in that stamp set. You can just see there, just giving you a look there. So I'll stamp that one up as well. Trying to get as much ink on there as I can. Okay, so I'm also stamping up this April curved design stamp, which I absolutely love. That's from the year-round stamp set. And that set also has the year, which fits nicely inside that curve. So I'll cut that one out using a circle punch, and that's ready to go. I'll also cut out all those phrases. So while I've got my ink pads out, I'm also going to stamp this stamp up, which is from the Borderlines stamp set. And I'm doing that in this olive green from Altenew. So the same green that I used for the little tab on that tag I did earlier. So I end up doing two of those to use on my design today. There's only one at the moment, but I do end up adding another one at the very top of the design. I've also decided to do an extra tag to tuck underneath that larger photo. So that tag will be used so that my husband can write his own little notes to go tucked in underneath that main photo. So I've just punched out the center of that little tab piece. I'm going to add the white cardstock onto my grid background. Just making sure it's centered as best I can. And then I'm going to grab my sewing machine and I'm going to add stitching around the edge of that white cardstock, but also around the edge of both of those tags as well. All right, so that is now done. I'll go ahead and add twine to the top of both of those tags. So I will leave that larger tag blank for now, and my husband can fill that one in later. I may even add another photo to that tag. I just don't think I have it at the moment. All right, so I've got my journaling printed out there. You can see that's going to go in between the two photos and that tag. Just working out the spacing now. So I'm going to just position everything onto the page before I start sticking things down. So I've got that borderline stamp at the top and the bottom. I love that that's adding another touch of green to the page. I've got those phrases that I've stamped up. 2 above that little Tasmania map picture, and then 4 other phrases are going underneath that main photo. So now that I'm happy with the spacing, I'm going to go ahead and start sticking everything down, starting off with that large photo. So making sure I get that one centered as best I can, and then that will act as a guide so I know where to stick the rest down. All right, making sure my tag still moves in and out. Looking good. So all the rest can now go onto the page. All right, I've got my little date going on the side of that top picture there, and now I'm going to use my sewing machine and stitch right along all of those stamped pieces. Just a little paper clip on the side of the tag there to hold that twine in place, and this page is now pretty much done. So I'll give you a closer look at the little details there. You'll be able to see all those stamped pieces and the stitching. I've also stitched along the journaling there as well. I'm really happy with how this one's come together. So let me know if you've got any questions about this one. Just pop it in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I'll leave a link down below to Kerri Bradford Studio so you can go and check these cool stamps out for yourself. And thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.